Now, Europe's migrant crisis has worsened during the coronavirus pandemic. That's one reason why the EU will be unveiling a much-awaited asylum reform next week. The EU Home Affairs Commissioner has urged for member states to agree upon a mandatory solidarity on the migration crisis. Here's a report.
Families battling rough seas and bodies washed up on beaches. Europe has witnessed some of the most horrifying scenes of migrant crisis. The coronavirus pandemic has left countries like Lebanon and Tunisia facing an economic crisis, while countries like Libya are dealing with the effects of war, leading to a sharp rise in undocumented migrants. So much so, the United Nations High Commissioner for Refugees has reported an increase in refugees arriving in Europe by sea. But the European response is often brutal. Attempts to relocate asylum seekers within the EU have been rejected by the so-called Visegrad Group. The group comprises Hungary, Poland, Czech Republic and Slovakia. That's why the European Commissioner for Internal Affairs emphasizes upon a unified mandatory system shortly before EU unveils its reformed asylum policy.
I think it's obvious to everybody that ad hoc solidarity or voluntary solidarity is not enough. I think that has been proven for many years now. So I think that's why it has to be mandatory. All member states have to help when there is a situation, when a member state is under pressure, when there's a lot of people that need protection.
EU Chief Ursula von der Leyen intends to abolish the controversial regulation under which asylum claims are handled in the country migrants first arrive. The rule is intended to prevent migrants from lodging multiple asylum requests, but it also allows them to be sent back to the first country by another EU nation. Countries like Greece and Italy argue this is unfair, as they are often on the front line of migrant arrivals. Perhaps that's why Johansson is aiming for a realistic solution.
I'm not naive. Of course, this is a very difficult task. But in my view, I think that we should not dramatize migration policy. Some migrants are in a dramatic situation. But I think to be able to find a political compromise, you should sit down and have a sober discussion and be pragmatic.
The new Asylum and Migration Pact is to be unveiled on September 23rd. The unveiling arrives 2 weeks after blazes in the Greek migrant camp of Moria left thousands homeless. The incident is seen as a symbol of EU failure to agree on a common migration policy. Moria had some of the 12,700 migrants living in the overcrowded camp for years.